Hey everybody, how's it going? It's Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel with another video for you guys here today. And what a game that we have to talk about. The Cowboys are now 4-2 after defeating the Los Angeles Chargers 20-17. Ironically, the same score from the last time these two teams played in SoFi Stadium in 2021. This is a huge win for the Cowboys. We're going to talk about the positives, negatives, you name it. There's a lot to cover. Before we do that, please, if you could do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, hit that notification bell to fight against the YouTube algorithm and show support for the channel. Thank you guys so much, and let's get into it. So, this game was a monumental win for the Cowboys given with what happened on Sunday. We talked about it in the pregame video. The Cowboys needed to win this game to keep pace with the rest of the NFC. And that's exactly what they did, but it was not easy by any stretch of the imagination. So let's pull up the stat line and then we'll move from there. So pulling up the box score here, going off of what the Cowboys did first. Dak Prescott, 21 for 30, completing 70% of his passes, 272, a touchdown pass. He was sacked 5 times, the passer rating of 109.3. Dak Prescott was also your leading rusher, and he also had a rushing touchdown. 7 carries, 40 yards, and then right behind him was Tony Pollard with 15 carries for 30 yards. We're going to talk about the run game in just a moment. In the receiving game, CeeDee Lamb, man, you fed him the ball and he did his thing. 7 receptions on 7 targets, 117 yards, no touchdowns. His longest play of the game was 23 yards, but you had Tony Pollard right behind him with 6 receptions, 80 yards, and the big 60-yard play, which we're going to mention that in just a moment. You also had Brandon Cooks with the lone touchdown pass from Dak Prescott and his first with the Cowboys. On the defensive side of the ball, you had the 1 sack in the most crucial part of the game by Micah Parsons. You had the interception from Stephon Gilmore to seal the game. So good stuff there. And then looking on the other side of the field, Justin Herbert was 22 for 37, 2 touchdowns and an interception. He was only sacked once, the biggest play of the game for the defense, well, besides the interception, but you know what I mean. Oh my God, dude. I almost said the 49ers. The Chargers, 53 yards rushing on 23 attempts. They held Austin Eckler to 27 yards rushing. They were horrific trying to run the ball. Their longest run of the day was a 9-yard rush. When it comes to the receiving game for the Chargers, you had Keenan Allen lead the way with 7 receptions, 85 yards, and a touchdown. Gerald Everett had the lone touchdown on in the red zone, or rather in the end zone. I'm sorry. Game just ended, and I had to watch 2 games at once, so bear with me. The Phillies were on, and also the Cowboys are going back and forth, stressing about both teams. It's a lot. You also had Khalil Mack, Sebastian Joseph Day, Nick Williams, and Morgan Fox sack Dak Prescott. Now, let's go ahead and let's get into the team stats, and then we'll talk about the game with what I liked and didn't like. The Dallas Cowboys, I mean, it was somewhat close. You had similar third down efficiency, 5 of 13 for the Cowboys, 5 of 14 for the Chargers, 1 of 2 on 4th down for both teams. Both teams had the same amount of plays. Cowboys had more total yards. They had the same amount of drives. Cowboys had a lot more yards per play than the Chargers, 5.6 versus 4.5. The Cowboys did a better job running the football. Both teams had a turnover. The Cowboys led the way in penalties, and it was 11 of 85 to 9 of 79. Both teams had 50% in the red zone, and time of possession was literally right down the middle. It was just a straight up, both teams were struggling to run the football. Both teams were relying on their quarterbacks to win this game, and really the passing game in general, and the Cowboys won out. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So the good, I don't care what anybody says, Dak Prescott won you this game today. He played phenomenal. There was only a handful of plays where I was not happy with, where he took a sack when he could have thrown the ball away. He could have gotten the ball to Pollard, but he missed him. He threw a bit of a fade rather than just throwing it straight to him, which would have been a touchdown. But Dak Prescott, when it mattered the most, he shined, scrambling. And, let me tell you something. Dak Prescott's pocket presence won them this game. I don't care what anybody says. If Dak Prescott didn't do what he did tonight, the Cowboys would have lost. His ability to extend the play and find Tony Pollard for the 60-yard passing play was great. His ability to get the ball to Brandon Cooks in the end zone, given with the situation he was dealing with, damn good. Being able to extend the drive and find CeeDee Lamb or find Brandon Cooks, really damn good. In fact, he really should have had a couple more touchdown passes this game if it wasn't for Michael Gallup being a dumbass, but I digress, and that will be later on. But listen, Dak, hats off to you. The game ball goes to you on the offensive side of the ball, because if it wasn't for him, the Cowboys don't win this game. And I don't know how you can really talk shit about Dak Prescott after this game with where we're at right now. And I understand, he's made mistakes this season, but damn it, he won you this game. Point blank period, because your run game wasn't working. Now, CeeDee Lamb, him and Dak got back on track, which is great. But outside of that, and I'm kind of just going through the offense right now because I have an order of operations going through my head. Dude, Michael Gallup is on my last nerve. This dude, it's like he doesn't want to jump, or he's off with Dak Prescott. He's just not good when it comes to catching the ball in certain situations. It's mind-numbing, and it's just so frustrating. I'm at the point where Jalen Tolbert needs to get more snaps over Michael Gallup, but politics will say no. Or hell, give the plays to Brandon Cooks, because Michael Gallup didn't do shit aside from a couple of plays here and there. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Michael Gallup's been pissing me off. He had the one game, but that was it. So he's got to step it up, and I'm hoping we can get some recalibration there, but they're just off. I don't know what's going on. The offensive line irritated me, and also the run game, but really that came down to your offensive line not performing well. The reason that tush-push play didn't work was because Tyler Biadasz got blown up and your offensive line got no push, so Dak was just running into his offensive line. I'm just trying to think what else. Well, you did have issues with the run game, but I don't think it had anything to do with Pollard or Rico Dowdle. It was just the design of the plays and how you were running the football. It was predictable, and your offensive line wasn't giving you any favor because they weren't able to block the dudes up front. So I don't understand it, but you won the game. That's all that matters. I'm going to do a quick segue to the special teams. Shout out to Brandon Aubrey for putting the Cowboys ahead and doing his thing. But, oh my God, dude. Jalen Tolbert, I understand what was going on there, and I'm not going to blame him. Well, he shouldn't have touched the ball, but I'm just frustrated because I really don't want to talk about the refs, but I'm going to have to. I'll touch up on them last because we won the game, and either way, I got to talk about them, get it off my chest. Defensively, the Dallas Cowboys had hiccups across the board. You made key plays when it mattered, which is important. But, dude, it just frustrates me because it's like you had some good moments, you had some poor moments, like letting up a 2nd and 4. Like, you had a penalty, and then you let them get the yardage back. It was, it is what it is. But it really felt similar to the 2021 game where it was like the Chargers were moving up and down the field. They just couldn't capitalize unless they were given, really, a Hail Mary, like, oh my God, here's the refs giving you this. And I hate to say that, but it's true. Listen, man, I'm so annoyed with this ref crew, bro. They would call the most, it was so fucking infuriating. They gave the Chargers the ball at the Cowboys 20 because it should have been, by the rule, it should have been fair catch interference. but they didn't call it. Dude pushes the guy after Turpin calls for the fair catch. I don't care. That should have been called. On top of that, there were holds that weren't called. It was just all this bullshit, dude. And I'm sorry, but the refs pissed me off tonight. But we won. We're 4-2. I have nothing much more to say other than good job. We're going into the bye at 4-2. Let's pick this up next go around when we're taking on the Rams at home. Damn good win by the Cowboys. So now all we can hope is on Sunday things go your way. Next Sunday, that is. Things go your way and you come out and you just take care of business. Good job, Cowboys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Tell me what you guys thought about the win.